This is the Odd Atheist Friends podcast. What you are about to hear is just the opinions of Matthew and Erik, who are the hosts. This podcast will talk about life, love, politics, religion, and whatever else runs around their heads in the moment. Their opinions are just that, opinions, and only their opinions. It does not represent anyone else but them at that moment in time. Not their significant others, family, friends, employers, companies, or anyone else that they might know. You are probably going to hear cuss words. The hosts cuss and really don't care if any guests cuss too. If you are offended by something, this probably isn't the podcast for you. But if you like what you hear, please keep listening.
And welcome back to Odd Atheist Friends podcast number 11. God damn, 11? Jesus. God, fuck your God. 11. Hi, Erik. It's Matthew. How you doing?
Oh, hey, Matthew. I wasn't sure who it was talking to me.
Oh, fuck if I know, man. I'm out in friggin' La La Land half the damn time. I don't know what's going on. Oh, man. Speaking of what's going on? I haven't talked to you in a while, as I'm throwing my pen across the room.
Just being trans and chilling.
Chilling? I heard that it's not so chillin'. What's up?
Well, okay. In our last episode, I mentioned that I had just gotten back from New Mexico for a month. But I didn't talk about it a whole lot. I did say I looked at rocks.
Yeah, rocks. How exciting. Rocks. Actually, I like rocks. I like geology.
Geology's really cool, actually. Especially...
Plate tectonics in high school is actually what started in freshman year, has got me started looking at stuff. So, anyways.
Fuck, do you want to know? You want to know what really got me, into geology? What made me want to be a geology major?
Sure, why not?
Dante's Peak.
Really?
Yes.
Why did Dante's Peak make you want to be a geologist?
Fuck, I'm not really sure, but we watched it in freshman year of high school, and it really resonated with me. Like, Pierce Brosnan. I don't know. He was a volcanologist, and I was like, I could do that, and that's really cool. So, yeah, that got me super interested in geology.
Now, because I'm a great big dumbass and I don't know where Dante's Peak is. Where the hell is Dante's Peak?
I don't know if it's a real place.
Oh, okay.
I know they use the real mountain, but I don't think it's a real volcano.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know that the Himalayas... Is it the Himalayas? Basically, they're being squished up because the Indian plate is ramming into the Asiatic plate and keeping going. Yeah. Basically, what is it, like Everest grows like an inch a year or something like that. Something stupid, you know?
Yeah.
And I know that the Pacific is getting smaller and the Atlantic is getting bigger by about the same, by about an inch a year. So, yeah. And you can look at it. I mean, you can see where South America fit into Africa. I mean, duh. Yeah,
actually, so, it's really cool because India was down and it was part of, Antarctica a long time ago.
Yeah, and it broke off.
And it broke off, and then it started shooting up, and then it hit Asia, and that's why we have the Himalayan mountains, which is really
I wonder if it'll keep going, or I wonder if it'll stop.
It'll eventually stop. It always stops. At one point, I don't know if you know what the Appalachian Mountains are, probably, but...
Well, I know there are mountains on the east coast of the United States.
Yeah.
But weren't they because the United States basically smashed up against Europe?
See, this is going to make me sound stupid. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was also, I think it was Africa, because North Carolina, it got hit by Africa, and then I think that, well, also the other states, but I just know North Carolina specifically, because I live here. Yeah. but North Carolina got hit by Africa, and I think that helped smash some of the more of the Appalachians up. And at one point, the Appalachians were basically the Himalayas of the world because they were the tallest mountains in the world. But they've since eroded down, and they're a lot smaller. But
really,
yeah, it's really cool.
Huh.
And so, actually, the eastern half of North Carolina is basically Africa because it smashed into it, broke it off, left some of it over here. Then Africa moved back over. But, so, basically,
Actually, North America moved over, not Africa moved over.
They're all
growing apart at the same speed.
Yeah, they all moved.
Like an inch a year.
Yeah. It's a really slow
Which
process.
is really kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I know that what is it underneath the super hot spot that's underneath not the Grand Canyon but
Yellowstone.
Thank you very much. Like a mega volcano or some shit like that.
Yep.
And the last time it erupted was something like 300,000, 400,000 years ago.
Yeah, and it's due.
And they actually know it erupted. And like that's one of the reasons why why there's some of the rock that's in the what's now known as the Central Plains, and then of course the Ice Age kind of scraped some of that away. But they know that some of the volcanic rock is from that explosion. What is that? I heard something like, what was it, like 6 foot deep through most of the Midwest?
I don't know, but
I mean, I think I heard something about that the last time it exploded like 300,000 years ago or something like that or whatever, that it left like a lake of magma like 6 foot deep through most of the central Midwest.
Yeah, I mean, I'd believe it. It probably left ash in other places, like around the world too, for sure.
Oh yeah. Yep. I think I don't know, but it's supposed to be like a hot spot, and there's supposedly others around the world too. I only know about that one because that one is like, they say it's like overdue to erupt again, and it's one of these ones where it would be like, if it erupts, it'll basically end humanity.
Yeah, so actually hotspots are really interesting geologically because they're under the tectonic plates, so like they don't move, right? So tectonic plates are always moving over hotspots, but hotspots are always constant. That's why you end up getting island chains like Hawaii, because Hawaii is above a hotspot, but the plates are moving, and so the hotspot stays where it's at. So that's why there are like different islands, and you can age the islands based on how tectonic plates have moved over the years. Super cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, Iceland's also above a hotspot.
Yeah, and Iceland is like really cool, and I want to visit someday. Iceland isn't icy. It's actually really kind of warm. It's actually pretty warm for being so far in the North Atlantic because, well, it's over a hotspot. Yeah,
I went there 2 years ago for a couple weeks, and I was studying some renewable energy and also doing like some crazy adventure stuff. It was fantastic.
My wife is from Niigata, Japan, and like if you look at like Tokyo and go straight north into the bend that would be in Sea of Japan, that's like the region where she's from, and her area of Japan is really known for its like hot springs and that kind of stuff. So there's like we visited her hometown when I was still stationed in Japan, and there's like places all over the place that are like free hot springs where it's like they got like benches and stuff set up, and they're like covered over like little pavilions kind of.
Yeah.
And so you can like take your feet off and take your shoes and socks off and roll up your pant legs and soak your feet in the natural hot springs.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're like all over the place. And then but we stayed at a hot spring hotel, and it was super cool. I loved it. It was so great. So yeah, taking the hot spring and doing it Japanese style, it was pretty cool.
That is
so
awesome.
Yeah, I was actually a little concerned because they don't really like people with tattoos in Japan being in the hot tubs, because I think they're worried about like Yakuza or something like that. I don't know, because like most normal Japanese people don't have tattoos at all.
Yeah.
So, and I've only got the one tattoo on my upper right arm. And so it's like, it's definitely a Moto Navy tattoo. So it's like, and it's old. I mean, the last time I had it colored in was like 12 years ago. It's an old tattoo.
Yeah.
And so, but I was actually pretty worried that they were not going to let me in the hotel, the hot spring. But they did, and I didn't have any problem. But yeah, the being able to just, we were just walking around, and Sachi was like, "Hey, let's take off our shoes and soak our feet for a while." I'm like, "Hell yeah!"
That's awesome.
So that's what we did.
Yeah.
So, anyways, you were big misdirect. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm gonna talk a little bit more
Sidetrack.
about Iceland because Iceland's an amazing place. But so we went on a bunch of hikes there, and like you can just basically hike up, and there's like rivers that have geothermal water, and you can get in them and just soak, and it's amazing. Like in the middle of the wilderness, it's awesome. But also they have geothermally heated pools, like swimming pools.
Uh-huh.
And so you can go swimming when it's like 40 degrees outside, and that's what they do all the time. And one of the things I felt like as an American I found really strange was when we went to the pool, you go in and then you have to go in the changing room and you have to take a shower, and there's an attendant that makes sure you wash your underarms and your groin with soap before you get in the pool. And if you don't, she in the women's room will come over and tell you that you have to wash more.
Make sure you wash your undercarriage better.
Yeah, I watched them like go over and talk to some people about it. It was crazy. And it's like a giant group shower, and everybody in Iceland is just like used to it, and they're talking to each other, and all of us Americans were like, this is kind of weird. But
though, I mean, they had the same thing in Japan too. They do have rooms where it's like you can do like a party room where it can be male and female together in the same room. Mm-hmm. It's usually like families and stuff like that rent them out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But most of the time, the hot springs are separated off by male and female. So, and it's said in English as well as in Japanese and a couple of other languages to make sure that you shower well and completely. I think it was about how the verbiage went before you get in. And it's the same thing with, like, taking a bath in Japan. Like, usually, like, the showers and the bathtubs are usually separate. They don't have, like American style, usually you got a shower above a bathtub. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so, but in Japan, like, you shower, then you go soak in a tub, and then you go rinse down. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, a whole family at night, mom, dad, and a couple of kids will all use the same bath water because all you're doing is soaking. You're already clean when you get in.
Yeah.
So I guess they're thinking the same thing there, and it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? They don't want any fromunda, in the water, and I absolutely get it.
Yeah, no, I agree. It makes a lot of sense, and that way they don't have to use very much chlorine in their water.
Exactly. Because with like the salts and the minerals and that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know about you, but like when I was in the hot springs in Japan and stuff, that I really liked the feel of the minerals. I mean, it felt different than chlorinated water.
Yeah.
And I felt better. I mean, if that makes any sense. I mean, it just felt better.
Yeah, for sure.
Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, back on track a little bit. So I went to New Mexico, and I was with a group of we were 30 college students, all from my university, all in the geology program, because this is kind of like the big thing you do to graduate. You go look at rocks for a month, and then you can graduate if you finish all your other classes. I have one more. Anyway, it'll happen. But so I had never really talked to most of these people. Like, I think I had like 2 kind of friends in this group, and I hadn't talked to most of the other people because in class I'm usually just like going to class and then leaving and not really staying around to talk. So I think about, I don't know, a third of them knew that I was trans probably going in, but I was like super open about it the entire trip. Like, first day I went into the men's room, this guy was like, I thought this was the men's room. And I said, it is. Don't worry. And then I left. And then he came over to me later and he was like, I'm really sorry. I didn't know that you were a guy. And I was like, well, actually, I'm trans and blah, blah, blah. And then I explained all that. And then I explained it probably 100 more times throughout the entire trip. And I was super open, and I answered everybody's questions, and I made sure they knew it was okay to ask me questions, because for most of them, I was like the first trans person they had ever met. So yeah, I felt like it was, like, I always feel like this, but I feel like it's really important for me to be like, I don't know, a good ambassador for the trans community or whatever, so that they don't have a bad first trans person experience, because that could turn them off of the entire idea even more. And
that makes sense.
You know, if I can educate someone and get them to understand that I'm just a person too, then maybe that'll make the world a better place a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, so I got to deal with that a lot, and for the first, like, week, it was terrifying for me to go take a shower or anything, because
yeah,
I can
see that.
I wasn't using the fucking women's room, because They let me sleep in the men's dorms. So I was like, I'm a man, so I need to get over this fucking fear of going to the man's restroom. But so I was sitting on my little porch area of the first house we were staying at, and so it's an amazing area, and you can look out and there's just like giant cliffs, because it's awesome, and it's dear God, New Mexico. Anyway, it's New Mexico, and there's giant cliffs, and it's beautiful, and I was like, it would probably be easier for me to go climb up there and jump off right now than to go over to the men's room and take a shower.
Wow.
That was my first week there. It was terrifying.
Was it like, was it like an open shower thing?
I mean, there was like curtains, but
oh, okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't like horrible, but also it wasn't great.
It wasn't like a locker room shower setting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say, like in a gym, like in high school gym, where it's basically like a room with like 8 or 10 shower heads and everybody's in there naked. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it wasn't that. It was like a campground, like a standard campground type thing.
Yeah.
Like some curtains, but also still relatively open. Also, I will have you know, the fucking toilets, like, they had like half a curtain.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing keeping it. Like, people could just like walk by and look in on you taking your shit, and I'm like, I mean, I don't need that.
No. Nobody needs that. Even dudes don't need that. I mean, and that's one thing, you know, as a guy, is just kind of like, you know, dropping a deuce is something that's really pretty personal. Do you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah.
I just really like that statement. I'm sorry.
What, dropping a deuce?
It's something really personal. It's good.
You know, you don't want anybody even walking by, you know what I'm saying? I mean, even if they can't see anything, you know, it's still, I mean, you know, it's you're vulnerable. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
but
hell, I don't like I don't like doing one in my house with anybody home. It's just like, you know, that whole no, I don't want anybody to hear me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I feel that. I'm gonna have to get over some of that fear, but I got over a little bit, because after the first week, I was mostly okay going to take a shower, and sometimes I would have to wait to go to the bathroom but when no one was in there because it freaked me out. But
well, I mean, that's honestly a little okay too. I mean, I can understand having a little bit of trepidation issues.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get it.
Well, thank you.
I understand.
Also, we were out in the field for like, I don't know, 8 or 10 hours a day sometimes. Sometimes it was only like 5 or 6, but it was a long time. And I drank a lot of water because, I mean, you're hiking up mountains and sweating like crazy, so you got to drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
But I was afraid to take a piss in the field.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I was like, I mean, I would probably walk away from everybody and then just like make it happen if I really had to. But I don't know. I was just like feeling really dysphoric and like, I don't know. Like I should be able just to stand and take a piss and that would be fine. But I can't. Yeah. I can't unless I have like some aid helping me, like a device, which is they're really cool. And I want to buy one of the nice ones, but they're like $200. But
really.
Yeah, so, well, I mean, they have some that are, like, kind of shitty for, like, $15-$30, whatever, but the one I want is, like, $200, and it's supposed to be really good.
Okay. Well, I've seen, what was it? There was a video I saw recently where some young woman, she had some device so she could pee on a flag. That was it. I don't think she had anything to do with trans rights at all, but I don't know. Then she got a little upset that people got a little pissy with her, pun intended, about her urinating on a flag over a toilet. And she's like, well, you do pissy things and then you get upset when people say shitty things to you? Okay.
That's really strange sounding.
But yeah, I'm just saying, because I saw one of these devices and it basically just looked like a funnel.
Oh, yeah. So they have, like some that are meant for, like, women. So you can just, like, stand and pee, like, when you're camping or something.
That might have been what I was seeing. I don't think it, I don't think she identifies as trans in the slightest. I just think she was using something so she could literally pee on a flag over a toilet.
Oh, that's probably what it was. But, so, like, they're called stand-to-pee devices, and when you start looking, like, at the ones made for trans masculine people, they start to look more like a phallic shaped and stuff, and the really nice ones are supposed to be able to just like fold down in your pants, and like you can just like whip it out whenever you need to go, and then it's great, and like you should be able to like pass at a urinal or whatever. Like it's super cool.
Really?
Yeah.
So if somebody was to sneak a peek, it would actually look like a penis.
Yeah.
Something like one.
Yeah. It would, I mean, it would pass pretty well until you, like, I don't know, put your face at it, but no one's going to do that.
Look close, yeah.
They're really awesome. Yeah. I'll let you know how it works out if I ever get one.
Thanks. I actually would be interested in finding out, post a picture of it, not like in your pants or whatever, but like what the device itself looks like, because I've never, until I talked to you about this stuff, I had never even considered looking this stuff up because I had no interest in it. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's understandable, and also it would have been a little creepy if you were looking it up for no reason.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But yeah, I didn't even know those devices existed until you told me about them.
Yeah, maybe I'll post a link to one on our page and share that.
That sounds like a pretty good idea.
So yeah, I definitely will get one at some point. I've heard that when you start using one, it's really hard to do, and you'll end up making a mess everywhere until you get used to it.
Yeah, I think it's got to be a practice thing.
Yeah.
You probably practice at home until you get used to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. For sure. Don't want to piss my pants in public.
Yikes, no. I just had a flashback of Billy Madison. You ain't cool unless you pee your pants.
Fucking love that movie, man. Adam Sandler needs to come out with some more good movies. Like,
Adam Sandler only had like 2 good movies, and that was in the early 90s, and pretty much after that, not so much.
I know. He needs...
Mr. Deeds, Billy Madison were probably his best movies. Yeah, other than that, they really pretty much sucked.
I love Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore, excuse me. Yeah, Happy Gilmore 3.
Yeah.
But those are probably his only 3 good movies. Because, like, what was it? The movie where he was, like, trying to relive his past with his 3 buddies. That movie was bad. So the sequel was even worse.
Oh,
and
Grown Ups?
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
that movie was bad.
I liked the first one. The second one was horrible. Like, horrible.
I didn't even like the first one. I thought the first one was shit, too. Yeah. And then, what was the one with, like, he was, like, the video game guy, and then, God, what was the name of that fucking movie? God Awful Movies did, one of their, patron-only versions of it, where they blasted it for their patrons.
Oh. I didn't watch it because I knew it would be shit, so...
Oh, it was horrible. I haven't seen it, but just from what I was talking about, it's like, okay, the aliens think that the video games are actually like how we humans live or something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, there's basically like a Space Invaders thing going on. So anyways, the military is there, like Navy SEALs and shit, right? I guess. So the Navy SEALs let the video game guys take the video game guns because they're better at video games. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's called Pixels.
Yeah. Pixels. Thank you. Yeah, like the military special forces are gonna let video game guys defend the planet. You're outside of your fucking mind.
Yeah.
So anyways, but yeah, there was just a lot of shit in that fucking movie that was just like, man, that movie's bad. It was like, what was it? Thomas and Andrew did Lord Awful Movies for the patrons this past month, and they did a Pauly Shore movie where Jury Duty, and they called this movie a crime against humanity. That basically this movie should be Pauly Shore should be brought up on crimes against humanity at The Hague.
Oh my God.
You know, and it's funny because I had friends who loved Pauly Shore in the 90s. And I saw that movie and I'm like, man, this movie's bad. And I'm pretty liberal as far as humor goes. I can see things that I find a lot of shit funny that other people are like, man, that's not funny. I'm like, yeah, it is. I'm like, but even Pauly Shore, man, it just didn't. Oh my God, that movie was bad. Anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, so in New Mexico, I think one of the hardest things for me was like constant incorrect pronoun usage. And I would tell people, I would say, look, I identify as a man. I know I don't look completely like a man, but I'm trying to fix that. Like, not that I have to. I can look however I want and tell you my pronouns, and you should respect that. Anyway.
Otherwise, you're being a dick.
Yeah, and like, I don't know. Like, I told these people for a month straight. I kept correcting them most of the time. Sometimes I didn't because it would like really upset me and piss me off. Like, once you've misgendered me for, I don't know, the 100th time, it's a little upsetting. I'm sorry. And
no, at that point, they're being an asshole.
Like,
I mean,
I know.
You know, like, if you do it once or twice, you know, hey, like I've said before, I mean, I met my first trans person in college. You know what I'm saying? At the age of 39. So, I mean, and I always tried to make sure that I always use the right pronouns because that's just the right thing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, it's like I prefer to be called Matthew. I mean, I understand people will call me Matt, and I get it. I won't snap their fucking head off, but I don't like it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but if I look at you at some point and go, Matthew, then I kind of expect you to use the name that I want to be called by. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. I hope that made some fucking sense. I mean, you just want to be called by what you want to be called by. And this bullshit, like this one guy was saying that, people are going to want to be called by 6-digit numbers and shit. No, fuck you, asshole. Just call me by my preferred pronoun. Fuck off.
Yeah, I know it's really hard to change one letter of what you're saying, but...
Yeah, no shit. Because it's literally dropping the S.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. I didn't understand it, but it happens a lot. And I had people tell me, it's just gonna happen more, so you should probably just get used to it now. And I'm like, fuck, I thought we were friends, and what are you doing to me, bro? I don't understand.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe other people will do it in the future, and yeah, maybe it'll upset me a little bit, but right now, you've done it for 30 days straight, and I don't appreciate it at all.
Yeah.
And that just tells me that people are, obviously not seeing me as a man. They're not seeing me as a guy, and that's even more upsetting. So, I don't know. And I had someone else tell me, I had someone that said, look, I can never see you as anything other than a woman, but spiritually, I feel like you're probably a guy. And I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean?
No shit, fuck you.
It was really weird.
Spiritually, you're a man, but I can only see you as a woman? Shut the fuck up.
I know. It was very strange. I'm
surprised you didn't stick your middle finger in their fucking nose.
Yeah, well, we were halfway up a sand dune, and I didn't know what to say.
I might have reached out and shoved him down the fucking dune.
The thing is, he wasn't trying to be mean. I think he was just legitimately telling me how he feels, and but...
Okay, great, I get that, but would you say that to your buddy?
I know.
I mean, I understand friends fuck with each other, right? I get it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Friends fuck with each other a lot. And, it's if I didn't like you, I wouldn't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but there's a certain level of respect that's given. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, at some point there's a certain level, and it's just then you're not respecting me as a fucking person. Fuck you.
Yeah. It was interesting. I don't know. But I will say overall, I think that most of the people by the end were definitely cool with me being trans and using the right pronouns and stuff. However, there was this one guy who I didn't talk to a whole lot, and I was talking about taking a shower because in the second place we were staying, we had it was a double shower together, there wasn't a separator, but most people just used one person would shower at a time. Anyway, I was so who wants to go shower with me? But I was joking mostly. I would have taken anyone up on that offer, and I made that clear. But this one guy, he was I've been in the military and I've seen enough dicks swinging around. I don't mind showering with you. And I'm do you not know?
Wow.
I was I'm not telling you right now, but that was so funny.
Wow.
It was good. But anyway.
And what's funny is, I don't know, I think the military kind of breeds a couple of different kinds of people, generally speaking. People who are either really conservative and will never change for anything, for nothing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or you get the people who are in and they just dealt with so many different kinds of fucking people, and you're just fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just totally unflappable.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. there might I'm majorly generalizing, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and I hope that, well, granted, I'm pretty strong opinionated. I hope that I'm just kind of like, fuck it, I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That reminds me. There's actually a lot of people from different branches of the military at field camp, which was interesting. But I made friends with this one guy, and he's a Navy SEAL, and he's finishing his degree in geology. Anyway, he's very...
Was he actually a Navy SEAL?
Yes, and he's going back to be an officer after he graduates.
Okay.
Like, he's like 30-something, and he's crazy. But...
I'm just saying because, like, there's only been, like, 5,000 Navy SEALs ever.
Yeah, he really is. Like, he would come to class in his uniform and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's another subject thing.
Yeah.
We'll talk later.
Well, he had to, like, wear it for, like, things at school, and then he would have to go to class. It was not... Like, I don't think it was him. Anyway, moving on. So, like, he's a really great guy and stuff, and we had a lot of, like, deep chats because, I don't know. We had, like, differing opinions and stuff, but also a lot of similar opinions.
Yeah.
And he's, like, super Catholic, and I'm not, obviously, so we talked about things. One of his big things was he believed that everyone has the right to choose and has the right to personal freedoms. And he would always say, I believe that people have the right to choose their lifestyle. And he was referring to, like, LGBT lifestyle or whatever. And then one day I asked him, I said, so, do you think that I'm going to hell for being trans or gay or anything? And he didn't know how to answer that. Like, he had to take, like a day to think about it. And he came back to me and he said, I don't know the answer to that. And I think I was wrong about some of the things I've been saying.
Whoa.
Which was amazing to me. He was like, I think I was wrong because obviously, like, and I explained this to him. I was like, so I would not choose this lifestyle if I had any other choice, right? Because this is really fucking hard. This is, like, torture sometimes. It is awful.
Yeah.
I would not choose this. And I explained that to him, and he comes back and he says, I think I was wrong. I realize now that that's not a lifestyle choice. That's just who you are as a person, and you can't help it. And the same with, like, being gay. People can't help that. And so I think I need to change what I've been saying. And
holy shit, somebody might have had a change of thoughts and opinion.
I know. It was an amazing
holy
thing.
Fuck.
And he was, like, big enough of a person to admit that he was wrong and tell it to my face. And I really respected that.
I hope that if he actually was in the Navy, we have the thing of honor, courage, and commitment, as the Navy core values. And part of being honorable is to admit your mistakes. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to admit you're wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? That's part of that. And so, yeah, they call that the Navy core values, and being able to be like, hey, man, I fucked up. So I hope that was part of it. You know what I'm saying? That I'm glad that he came back to you and said that that he was may have been wrong. You know what I'm saying? That he was going to change his opinion. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You never hear that.
I know. I think it's a really good thing, and I think it's part of me being so open about who I am and telling people, like, this is what I'm going through, this is how I'm feeling, like, this is how hard it is. And if I keep doing that, like, and being open as a person to other people, I feel like they'll be more open to the idea that this really is just who I am and who other people are, and accept that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fucking amazing.
It was really good. It was definitely really good for me. And probably for anyone who he interacts with, because, like, he'll just spread that on. But
I hope so. I mean, you know, it's the little interactions like that that are changing society as we know it.
Yeah.
That's fucking amazing. I wow. I'm honestly a little blown away.
I was too. It was amazing. Moving on. I'm having... So there's... I think I've mentioned on the show before that I went to Zambia. And I taught 5th grade in Zambia last year. And I was there for 2.5 months. And I fell in love with the people, with the kids, and I had an amazing experience. But these kids that I taught, they don't really have a school, and my goal is to eventually go back and build a school for them, because they deserve it. Every kid deserves a school to, like, learn in. But like, these kids in particular, I fell in love with them. They're amazing. They have huge hopes and dreams. They work so hard. And I want to help them out so much. But, yeah, so while I was over there, I helped them set up some programs. We set up a chicken coop so they could sell chickens, and we got 200 baby chickens that they were going to sell right after I left. And then I explained to them.
What?
Yeah, so first off, I electrically wired a light bulb fixture in the chicken coop, which was crazy because I'd never done that. But so I did that, and we set up the chicken coop, got it ready, got 200 baby chickens and the feed and the vaccines and everything else that we needed, and we had them going, and they were like almost like a week away from being ready to sell when I left. And so I explained to them, I said, look, you're going to sell these chickens, and then you're going to buy 200 more, and then you're going to take the extra money, and you're going to put away half of it for the future, and you're going to use half now for whatever you need for the school. And we also set up a garden while I was there, and right now they have corn growing, and they have more baby chickens right now, and they're setting up for a fundraiser they're doing in September, and they've been doing a lot of tailoring. They're making doormats and other things, and it's really exciting, and I really wish I was there, but I'm really proud of them for, like, trying to help themselves too, because I explained to them, I was like, I'm not going to do all the work for you. I know you're not going to be able to save as much money as I am, because money is so much different here in Zambia, but I'm going to work over in the United States, and you're going to work here, and eventually we're going to come together, and we're going to build this school. And so while I was there, we secured the land. I helped buy the land to build the school on, and the paperwork was going through when I left, and I'm pretty sure it's gone through now. I have a hard time being in contact with a lot of them because they don't have very good phone service or internet. Like, it's very sporadic. So I'm pretty sure that should have gone through by now, and hopefully once I save up enough money, I'm going to go back over and build a school. So yeah, so I'm trying to raise money, and I'm also trying to save money, which is why I'm trying to get a really good job, and I'm probably going to work 2 jobs, like, for a whole year. And then I'm thinking about, like, doing a walk to raise money. Like, I want to walk across North Carolina, which is 1,100 miles. And yeah, so I want to say, look, I'm going to go to the news or something and be like, look, these kids walk this much in, like, a school semester to go to school, because they have to walk to school. And it's like, I don't know, 2 to 10 miles a day. Yeah, depending on where they live. So I'm like, this is me just walking 1,100 miles because I can, but they have to if they want to go to school. So maybe get some people to donate per mile or something. That'd be really cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to do that after I work for, like, a year or something.
Wow.
Yeah. I need, like... I'm trying to raise $20,000, and then I need, like, a total of probably $60,000, maybe $75,000, just to have, like, a lot of comfort room to build
Yeah.
extra stuff. And I think that'll build like everything I need. And I have like a whole plan to keep the school running, and also a way to get like profits after the school is running. And then I can take the extra profits after a while and build a second school somewhere, and then I can just keep doing that, and that's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
But I'm having a problem. I mean, other than the fact that I have to raise a lot of money, but that'll come. And also I have to learn like business stuff and business law in Zambia, but I'll figure that out.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I went over there last year before I came out. So they know me as my old name. They know me as a woman, and I'm probably going to have to go back the same way.
So you don't think they'll respect you if you go back as Erik?
I don't know. Also, it's like pretty illegal, and I could go to jail for a maximum of 14 years.
Whoa!
Granted, being white and American gives you a decent amount of privilege, but also if I'm there for an extended period, I feel like that privilege would wear off.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't really know. I don't know how they would react to it either. It might have to be something I play by ear.
I don't want you going to jail, Erik.
I don't either, but I mean that would add a lot to my life story.
The problem is you have to tell the life story.
I know. I'm telling you, eventually they're going to make a movie about me. Like the trans guy that went undercover as a woman to build a school in Africa, okay? It's amazing.
You heard it here first on Odd Atheist Friends podcast.
Yeah. After he walked 1,100 miles. Oh, man. I'm telling you, it'll happen. But it's hard because, like, my mental health is really important. And
yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know how I would fare having to do that for a long time. But also, I think it would be worth it because I really want to build a school. I really want to help these kids. I really don't know.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I can definitely empathize with what you're trying to do here. So, yeah, you got my support. I'll help you if I can.
Thanks.
We'll definitely get something going. We'll put it up on the page, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure we can get other atheist podcasters to maybe mention something here and there, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because when I went over, these kids, and even a lot of the adults, they had never heard of atheism. And then I introduced them to that idea. I mean, I didn't, like, convert them or whatever, but...
Yeah.
They had no idea that it even, like, was an option, and now they do, so that's really exciting.
Yeah, it is. And
we hardcore taught science in my class, not Christian science.
Well, as Aaron Ross said in the last episode, the days of playing nice are fucking over. We can't afford to do that anymore.
It's true. It's really true.
So, no more of this. Oh, well, no, motherfucker, you're wrong. I really kind of agree with that. So, yeah, that was, and from reading his book, listening to his book, technically. But, yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Hardcore science.
Yes. I agree. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say about that topic right now.
Well, that's all I gotta say about that.
Mm-hmm.
Way to go there, Forrest.
Thank you. I try. I will be walking a lot.
Yeah. I've seen on your Facebook page that you're doing a whole bunch of walking. Are you starting to prep now?
Yeah, I figured, if I don't prep beforehand, I'll probably die.
That was funny because my cousin Lori some years ago tried to do one of the Komen walks, the 2 days, 40 miles. And this is a bitch who doesn't walk down the block for the paper.
Oh my God.
So, walking 40 miles? Fuck no.
I think I could definitely do that. I would be really sore. But if it was just walking, I'd be fine. My problem right now is the fact that I've been jogging and running a lot of it, and that's just killing me.
Well, yeah. When I was in the Navy, when we used to go visit ports, we would be like myself and some of my friends. Man, we would go sightseeing and we'd walk. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we would definitely truck around and 20, 25 miles on a day sightseeing in a town. Mm-hmm. Yeah, many times. And there was one time, myself and a friend of mine, it was Fleet Week in 2005, and instead of taking a train, we were on Fifth Avenue, but we were way the hell down in Fifth Avenue. Mm-hmm. And so it was like we were trying to get to Times Square, and like, where's Times Square? And the guy's like, I don't know, it's like 40 blocks that way.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, yeah, we walked it.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, we walked 40 blocks in Manhattan. So, yeah, we were way the hell up there. I don't even know where the hell we were, but man, we just walked all over. So, but yeah, I could have taken the train. You know, the trains for Fleet Week is if you're in uniform, free. All you had to do was just go in. They would open the gate and let you through, so we didn't have to turnstile jump or any shit like that. But they would just let you on the train. And I took the train a couple of times to get around, like when we went out to Coney Island and that kind of shit. And to go see, because I went to go see the Yankees and the Mets play that week. That was pretty cool. I went to go see the Yankees one day and the Mets the next. So, actually in their home in Yankee Stadium in Shea. So, yeah, that was really pretty cool. Those days I took the train, but yeah, just walking around Manhattan, I walked.
Yeah.
Literally, I walked.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So I guess I want to talk about the Detective's Corner today, because we haven't done that in a little bit. And there was a development. I don't know if you remember me talking about Laquan McDonald here in Chicago. A couple of weeks ago, I may have mentioned him, that one of the officers is on trial for basically his murder. So anyways, his name is Van Dyke, the officer, and he basically unloaded a magazine into a guy, Laquan McDonald, a young man. He did have a knife, but he was walking at best perpendicularly to the squad car. And it took a year for the video to be released to the public. And that actually led to the chief of police, his name was McCarthy, getting fired by Rahm Emanuel, the mayor. When this video came out, and within a week he got canned. Because, of course, a lot of people were pissed off. Because, they'd heard the story about Laquan McDonald. And they're like, oh, well, the story is that he was advancing towards the officers with the knife in his hand, and the officer felt threatened, so he unloaded on him. And this guy, Van Dyke, was the only one who shot. But then the video came out, and it was at best he was walking perpendicularly, like across the squad car, and the knife was in his opposite hand. He was walking, if the squad car was to the left, and it was perpendicular, at a right angle to him, mm-hmm. The knife was in his right hand as he was walking. So it wasn't like, yeah, he was looking at the squad car, but the knife was down at his side in his hand. His arm wasn't waving around. It was down at his side by his pants pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, his arm was even straight. You know what I'm saying? His arm wasn't flexed. He wasn't waving it around. His arm was down, and the fucking cop unloaded his magazine, a 9mm, 15 rounds into this fucking guy.
What the fuck?
15 fucking rounds. Now, I've said before that, when I was military police, one of the things that they fucking beat into us, and probably the long part of the training, probably one of the most substantial parts, was shoot, no shoot scenarios. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, there was a lot of law and that kind of stuff, but a major part was shoot or no shoot. And when you do shoot, you just don't shoot a couple of rounds and see what's going on. You're supposed to shoot, assess, shoot, assess, do you know what I'm saying? But there's always an assess period. Pow, 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 isn't fucking assessing.
Yeah.
You know, now granted, I understand that sometimes it takes somebody a second to fall or whatever. I get that, you know what I'm saying? So, there's supposed to be like, you know, if you see the person start to stop whatever action is they're doing, the capability, opportunity, and intent, if they're no longer have the capability, if they're falling with a weapon, then you're supposed to stop fucking shooting them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Do you see what I'm saying here?
I mean, it's like common sense. Like, I don't even need training to understand that.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, but we trained a lot on this shit. And apparently these fucking scaredy-cat, pussy-ass fucking cops forgot about the capability and maybe assessment in between their fucking rounds. Now, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're dealing with shoot, no-shoot situations, I mean, it's literally a fraction of a second. But you hear these guys all the time, you know, it's like somebody gets shot for a sandwich or for a fucking wallet, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What was it? The guy, Philandro Castile, was shot because the guy said, I'm going to get my wallet, and I have a gun in the car. And when he reached for his wallet, as the cop said, the cop fucking shot him. You said reach for his wallet, and when he moved, you fucking shot him?
Yep.
Fuck you, motherfucker. That guy got released, too. He was criminally non-charged. But anyways, beside the point, we can talk about Philandro Castile at another time. Actually, I kind of want to. But anyways, so this fucking cocksucker Van Dyke he's on trial right now. But what got released actually today, just a little while ago when I was watching the news, was that 3 other officers who were complicit in the cover-up have now been criminally charged.
That's exciting.
It's super exciting because these guys fucking wrote false official reports. You know, they're the ones who corroborated, basically saying that he was advancing on the squad car in a threatening manner, blah, 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 blah. These guys have been indicted by the DA in Chicago. So, I don't know if it's a federal or state. I don't know. All I know is they've been charged. 3 more CPD officers are being charged with the death of Laquan McDonald. That's great.
That is great. I'm excited to see what comes of it.
Yeah, and like I said, since this is Chicago and a totally Chicago thing, it's getting a lot of news here in the local area. I don't know how much you're getting over there and in the Kakalakis.
I don't know. I don't watch the news really. Like, I don't have TV, so I don't know what we're getting.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, but it's getting a lot of TV play here in Chicago area. I don't know about anywhere else, of course, but yeah. Before we go on to other things really fast, I think we should bring up that we got a rating on iTunes other than you, me, and Sharon Frankel.
That's true. I saw that.
And so, thank you for the iTunes review. We appreciate it. We really appreciate it. Thank you. It was a great review.
Yeah, I am curious to know how many people do listen to us on iTunes. So if you do listen to us on iTunes, just, I don't know, write like a little review, and that way we'll know you're listening.
Please. Please, 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 please.
Like, you can tell us how shitty we are if you want. That's fine.
I don't care. Just give us a 5-star and say you guys suck. That's okay.
I'll just give us a 5-star and say you suck. That would be great.
I would totally mention that person's name if they give us a 5-star and say you suck. So,
yeah,
I'm absolutely serious about that.
For sure, for sure.
Okay, so Eric, let's do something.
Okay.
You want to do a Mad Lib?
I fucking love Mad Libs. They're like,
you fucking love them?
I fucking love them.
Do you fucking love them, or do you just fucking love them?
No, I fucking love them. Like,
All right.
So much.
Let's do a Mad Lib. And the more fucked up thing you can say, the better. Okay? Trust me.
Okay.
Get weird. Okay?
Oh.
Get fucking weird.
I mean, have you met me?
Actually, in the person, no.
Oh, you're right. One day I'm going to have to, like, take a road trip up to Chicago.
I got an empty room. I got a spare room. Okay. Name a celebrity.
Oh, fuck, I don't know if I was ready for this. Let's think. Does Jesus count?
Oh, sure if you want to. But honestly, no, I don't want to take Jesus.
I don't want to take Jesus either. God, I'm so bad at this. A celebrity. Why can I'm like blanking out. Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Oh, that's awesome.
Okay.
Plural noun.
Panties.
Panties?
Panties.
Just a noun.
Lotion.
Oh, that's great. Another noun.
Vibrator.
Adjective.
Fat.
What kind of fat? P-H-A-T or F-A-T?
I'll let you take creative license.
And another noun.
Penis?
Sure.
Okay.
Plural noun.
Skeletons.
Just for the listeners out there, Eric and I have actually known each other for like 9 years on various internets, but we actually haven't met in person.
It's true.
Okay, give me 3 nouns.
Oh god. Okay. Testicles.
Okay.
Breasts. Magic
Okay.
8 Ball.
Magic 8 Ball. Adjective.
Lucky.
Verb.
Fucking. Or fuck. Fuck.
I'm going to take the plural on that one just because it reads better.
That's fine.
Adjective.
Pink.
Adjective.
Beautiful.
Sniffles. Plural noun.
Gummy worms.
Type of animal.
Walrus.
Name of place.
Matthew's house.
Awesome. Noun.
Africa.
Noun.
Dildo.
All right. Let's read about the creation story. In the beginning, Tom Cruise created the panties and the lotion. And they said, let there be... Let there be vibrators. And there was vibrators. And he said that it was fat. He created the penis in the sky and the skeletons of the land. And he made the testicles and the breasts and the magic 8-ball. And after 7 days looked lucky, so he fucked. And he created Adam and saw that he was pink. And he created Eve, who was beautiful.
Aww.
And he told him to stay off the forbidden tree, which had gummy worms on it. But the evil walrus convinced them to eat the forbidden gummy worms. Then Adam and Eve were banned from Matthew's house and told, from Africa you were made, and dildo you will return.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. I really enjoyed that. That was pretty awesome.
That was pretty good.
Do you have like maybe one would you rather?
Ooh. Yeah, just give me a second. I have a book of them right next to me because I'm prepared.
Let me click that. No.
That is
You
very...
hear that?
Oh, no, I can't hear that at all.
I was clicking my ballpoint pen.
Ballpoint pen. Okay, would you rather be given a rectal exam by a dentist or have a cavity filled by a proctologist?
A rectal exam by a dentist.
That's your choice?
I think that, well, if I had the choice, I would choose that. Because at least then he can't drill a hole through a tooth. Do you know what I'm saying?
That is definitely true.
So, yeah, I think I'd rather get... who's to say? He might be a gentle lover. I don't know.
Maybe. Maybe.
So, if there's anything else, I think we're going to close out OAF number 11.
Number 11. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop. Woot. All right, so... for Matthew and Eric, this is Matthew saying bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the Odd Atheist Friends podcasts. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please contact via email at oddatheistfriends@gmail.com or message us on Facebook at facebook.com/OAF podcast. We now have Twitter. Please follow us there at OAF podcast. Don't forget to support us on Patreon at www.patreon.com/OAF. This is Matthew and Eric of the Odd Atheist Friends podcast. Have a great and godless day.